Hey boys and girls out there, this is Clay of Major Disappointment Models, and just last Saturday, April 22nd, the Seattle IPMS put on their annual spring show, and I took a day of leave from the post office and crushing everybody's models that I can, you know, and all that good stuff. Nah, just kidding. I try to treat your mail like it's my mail. Took a day off and I went and entered two of my helicopters, and the Seattle crew up there, they do an amazing job. Every year I've gone up there, I'm just more and more amazed. And this year they said they had a record of over 1,000 models on the tables for either display or contest. And I tell you what, I wish I had more time to walk around, but I was helping my friend John Geigel of J&S Hobbies, also of Masterpiece Models. I was helping him man his booth. He's a vendor out there. He's from Vancouver, Washington. And we had a good time together, him and Patrick Perales. I think I said your name right, Patrick. I'm sorry if I didn't. But Patrick, we all have similar warped sense of humors, and so we had a good time all day long, cracking on each other and joking around. So I had a good time. I wish I would have spent more time walking around. So as I was saying earlier, my friend John Geigel is the owner of J&S Hobbies with his wife Shelly, thus the J&S. Now Shelly's into what do they call it? Scrapbooking, I believe. So she's a very talented artist in her own right. John has not only his small hobby shop, but he also builds models under contract for various people and organizations. He did one for the National Park Service on the Big Island, the Volcano Center, and it was Hawaiian footprints that were in the ash of the volcano. He also, and John's going to have to help me out. I know he did one for Oregon, had to do with electricity and how we get it and where it flows to and everything. I believe it's for the state of Oregon. And he's commissioned doing a Mars rover right now, and it's a 1-to-1 scale, and he's just an incredible artist. So like I said earlier, I had a good time working his booth. They had, I believe, 9 tables of models, and when I got there, the models were up above our head on these tables. And you know, trying to help out a friend, and John's a nice guy, and instead of paying me, he says, here, have a model, or take a model, whatnot. So let me show you what I got from John, and I will be putting a link to his Facebook and website pages, because he has some incredible resin models that you can buy from him. And one of the ones that he had there, Patrick had put together and painted, and it's a Sputnik. And it's absolutely beautiful model. This one here, I kind of accidentally stole it from him, and then I had to call him and say, hey, found this in my car with the other ones, and I think I couldn't remember if I paid him or not. But this is Fine Moles Jedi Starfighter, and I'm going to add this with the other 4 Fine Moles Star Wars aircraft I have, and sooner or later I will get to building it. And while we were packing up stuff, one of the boxes that we forgot to put on the table had this in here. Now this is I don't know if you can read this print. Let's see if I can get under the light. It's a 1/50th identical scale. I have no idea what that means. But this is a really old kit. Let me see if I can find... I thought there was a copyright somewhere. But you can tell it's so old because it has the old MA and 111 numbers. And this is even before they were doing model rectifier. MRC was selling theirs in the States. So I think this one is like probably all in Japanese. I didn't even open it. But it's a... To me, it makes beautiful kits. Yeah, look at this. All in Japanese, but hey, should be able to figure it out. I mean, how hard is it to build a model, right? I mean, that's what we do, right, folks? Look at it. Just glue this, glue that. Don't know if you can see it. Again, I apologize for the crappy lighting. So, but this is a really old kit. This is when Tamiya used to, remember they used to bag everything, you know, in the... Some of the tanks had motors and stuff like that, and they were all bagged. And it comes to little Tamiya glue, which is probably concrete right now. So look forward to trying to build that one. And they always had beautiful box art in those days, just absolutely beautiful. So I started working with John probably about 9:15, 9:30 when they opened, and helped him clean up all the way to about 3:30 or so after his half-price sale. So, you know, every couple hours he'd go, hey, pick out a model. So I did. I like F4s. I grew up in Kaneohe, Hawaii, and right across the bay was the Marine Corps Air Station, and they had F4s. And as a kid, I wanted to be an F4 pilot. Just never got around to it. Instead, flew helicopters in the Army. But this is another old, well, it can't be that old. It has a PE in it, so let's see, what's the year on this one? It's an old monogram. It's 1990, so it is a few years old. As you can see, it's still in plastic. And I think the PE is gone. Well, oh yeah, there it is. There's some PE down in there, just a little bit. And it's probably here, just this little thing is about the same size, so he told me to pick a model, and I picked this one because I like F4s. And later in the day, pick another model. And I had my eye on this kit. It's a Hasegawa kit. I love Mustangs also, and P38s. So I got this one. Hasegawa makes great kits, so I look forward to trying to build this one. And it's still sealed, so I didn't even open it. Then along the way, also, things that catch my eye as we were putting stuff away. I bought this one at a reduced price from him. You know, gave me a nice employee discount. And I know the Squadron products are supposed to be pretty good. And they're pretty well detailed, so got me an F6. And then, earlier in the day, I picked... This is one of the kits I built as a kid, you know. And... it's a 1969, and it's still in the plastic. Unbelievable, still sealed. So, and it shows some of the other ones here. I got that one, got the Junkers, remember? The Stuka, got the Grumman somewhere. But I had these kits, like most of us. This is the ME-109, and I had the P-51 shooting down the ME-109. I had the Corsair shooting down the Japanese Zero, and I had the P-38 shooting down the Stuka, and they were all hanging from the roof of my bedroom. And I have probably all the kits now, so just love these old kits. And I got that one for $10. And like I said, here's the ME-109. What's the date on this one? It's probably a little newer. Oh no, 1967. So it's probably the one I built, and still boxed and everything like that. Love these kits, so I will build that again. And like I said, I got that one for $10, and he sold me this one for $10. And this is a 1967, and I know I built this kit. And as you can see, everything's still there. All I did was take the decals and put them in Ziploc, so because everything's out in the garage here. You know, moisture might attack it, because we live in sunny Washington, as everybody knows. And my wife brings her van in here, and guess what? All the moisture falls off the van onto the concrete, and it's got to evaporate somewhere, and it's going right here in this garage. So I will post up some links to his website and whatnot. And if you're ever in the Vancouver area, check out John. You know, he's got some really good deals on some really nice models. So that's all I got. We'll talk to you later.